We have to start again because someone didn't turn on autofocus, so the whole thing was out of focus. So I'm back again, pissed off as usual. I'm back with a spur of the moment video as I was typing out an angry email this morning, and I just thought this would make a really interesting topic, and I'm genuinely curious to see if I'm the only person genuinely thinks these things and has a good reason for it. Let's just jump straight into it. Here are 5 of my things that I think you shouldn't say to musicians. You've got to help me out on this one, and you've got to tell me if you agree with what I'm saying or if I'm genuinely just an asshole. Number 1, my biggest and most recent issue is free samples. No hun. It's just not happening. I genuinely feel like I am at the end of my tether with this one. When I say free samples, I mean someone that goes, hey, I want to work with you and I would really love it if you could send me over an unpaid sample of you maybe singing the verse and the chorus of my track. Sometimes even having written the track yourself, and yes, it's unpaid. Let me break this down as to why I think this is ridiculous, especially if it's coming from another musician. Imagine a photographer or any other business for that matter. You wouldn't say to a photographer, hey, I really like your style. However, can we go and do a free sample shoot so I can see if I like what my photos with you are gonna turn out like, and then I'll decide if I'm gonna hire you. This is the point of a portfolio. What is the point of having a portfolio if people don't wanna use it? My other argument for why this is ridiculous is because I have no effort decider. If I'm gonna write a song or if I'm gonna do vocals for something, what is the point in doing something if you're not gonna try your best anyway? I would never sing something which I could hear was crap and continue to release it knowing it was really, really bad. You could sit there and get stuck on writing one particular line for hours, maybe even days. I just can't fathom how people just don't want to pay you for your work. Charge a small fee for a sample. I just don't understand, and I feel like a genuine musician or any business person for that matter will want to invest in that. God knows that you clearly have not heard my voice enough from the 300 and something online videos or something. If I gave every single person that asked for a free sample their free samples, I would never have the time to work on anything else. It's even worse coming from a musician that claims they have been a full-time musician for their entire life. How do you justify not paying someone for their time? That is literally what it comes down to. Number 2, and this one is for the singers especially, saying, oh my God, your voice is so great. You should go on the X Factor or Britain's Got Talent or The Voice. For people who have commented this and or do not know, X Factor, The Voice, Britain's Got Talent, any kind of talent show, fake and staged, and that's pretty much all you need to go into. Fun fact of the day, I applied to the X Factor when I was like 15, 16. I sang Paramore My Heart. They had no idea what the song was and I felt like an absolute moron for even trying it. The reason that it's so frustrating to people is because there are talent scouts, agencies, etc., who basically put forward people that they find on YouTube or online, whatever, and you basically go through endless auditions with producers and executives before you actually get to the people on TV. Saying this out loud now makes me feel very foolish at that age. However, I'm pretty sure there are so many people that have no idea. It is fake and overproduced to the point of that if you go to an audition, they have got signs and plaques up telling you when to woo, when to cheer, what to say. I've continued to have people scout me for these kind of programs, and every single time I say no, I'm not doing it anymore. I feel like a lot of people in the music industry kind of feel like it's probably an insult to real creatives, because why would you resort to a talent show to kind of work your way up if you're not putting in all the effort and you do have that mentality of the only way to get famous is to go on a talent show and get signed by Simon Cowell and have millions of pounds in my name, then what else are you kind of aspiring to? However, saying that, there are some really amazing undiscovered gems on there that just kind of think, oh, I'm going to go on there for a whim, and then end up blowing everyone away. Another thing to think about is the creative freedom that everyone loses. So normally after all these shows are finished, or it's been like years and years down the line, most of the artists are battling to get out of these like contracts that they hate, that they've been stuck in. So it doesn't seem like it's as amazing as everyone thinks it is. After this video, there probably also goes my hope of ever being signed to anyone ever. The third one, which I'm probably going to get some stick for, but I'm going to say it because it's a pet peeve, and even though there'll be some controversial opinions on this one, right, spamming your band on Facebook is not marketing. How do I word this without insulting about 100% of people here? It works really well for some people. I know some people that just add anyone and everyone that they can, but it is not for me. And if people add me and I don't know them, I don't accept them. A great example, and pretty much everything that I want to sum up in one, is about a month ago, someone added me on Facebook and I said, hey, do we know each other? He was like, no, but I just saw you were a musician, so I added you. Pointer here, if you know the person / admire their work, that's slightly different because you know of the person and maybe you're just adding them because you're an admirer of their work. That's not what I'm talking about. This person added me. All they knew was that I was a musician. They didn't know about the work that I did. I don't think they'd even seen my YouTube. I don't think they'd listened to anything I'd ever done. They purely added me because we had a bunch of friends in common on Facebook and they went to my profile, which is public, and saw that I was a musician. That's the only reason they added me. And they said, well, I just want to market and meet new musicians. And I said, okay, but I don't know you. If you want to network, go to a networking event. If you want to meet new musicians, go to a gig. I don't think that networking is adding random people on Facebook. When they accept, you send them a link straight away to your band page and then you never talk again. Marketing is also not adding random people on Facebook. Marketing would be going old school and printing out loads of flyers for your band, doing an original song and making it so good and making the video so amazing that people cannot not share it. Or sending stuff off to a PR company and literally letting them send press samples around. That's what marketing is. Even using Facebook ads, that's marketing. Get your stuff out there to people or make it so good that people can't pass up the opportunity. Don't just spam people. It's the exact same as YouTube, and it's why if you comment on a cover saying, hey, this is a cool version, check out my version here, and then add a link, YouTube automatically marks it as spam. Because it is spam. I've always been a firm believer of make content so good that people can't afford to share it. I don't even know how to explain this next one to you, but I do not have an attitude problem and I'm not a silly little girl because I'm trying to be professional. Maybe it's a gender thing, maybe it's an age thing, maybe I'm just sick of people's shit. When it comes to working with people, especially creatively, I'm a firm believer in that even if it's a friend or whether it is someone on the other side of the world, they are gonna get the same outcome. Like I said previously, there is no like effort meter / level or checklist. It is just, you know, you give everything 110%. I'm hoping people can relate to this kind of in a good way. It's all kind of about managing expectations and making sure that the person receiving your work has an expectation of what they're actually going to receive. It's all about trying not to give away too many free passes and, oh, go on then, and oh, I'll do this just one more time. As I say this, I remember that I have had this exact conversation and I'm already giving away another free pass today because that's just what it is. It's a love-hate situation when people want to work with you because they like your work, but you know that they're going to turn around and threaten you with bad reviews and tarnishing your name if you don't do what they want you to do. It's just that kind of work and it sucks. For this one example, someone said to me, look, your voice is cool, but it just doesn't work with my track. That is completely fine, not an issue at all. It went from 0 to 100 real quick when I tried to offer a solution and they went from, hey, it doesn't work, I'm sorry, but I like your voice, to you're a stupid little girl who's gonna get nowhere in the music industry because you're not giving me what I want. Basically. I remember this frustrating me so much, and I'm purely not going to go in it for the reason that I just don't want to bring up old messages and I don't want to remember it. I don't know if this is just coincidence or what, but I find that every time I've been called a stupid little girl, a bitch, or saying that I'm never going to get anywhere in the music industry, it's always been a male over the age of about 30, which is just ridiculous because I don't understand why they can't act like adults. In this situation, I even gave the person 5 different options where we could come to some kind of resolution where it was like a mutual agreement. The minute they realised that they A, weren't happy with what I gave them, and B, I wanted to at least benefit, at least for my time spent, it suddenly went from talking about my voice to my age and my gender, which have nothing to do with my voice in any way, and how I have a really bad attitude, and that's why the situation is where it's at, and therefore I'm never going to make any progress in the music industry because of my attitude. I don't know if any girl creatives can vouch on this one, but I just found that once it got from someone realizing that they're not going to get what they want, even though it's something that wasn't originally agreed, it went from a really nice conversation to suddenly there was no way that they were going to give me the time of day to speak. It was like cutthroat, and they just didn't want to hear what I had to say and just decided to insult me instead. So to summarize that one, no, an assertive younger female is not a bitch with an attitude problem because she's trying to come to some professional resolution. God forbid, it must be my attitude. My last and final point, which every female musician has probably had at least one, especially in rock music, is that no, I do not sound like Hayley Williams. I wish I sounded like Hayley Williams. Hayley Williams is like a 15 out of 10 and I'm like a 7 at a push. I do feel like it's more of a troll at this point because you see it on any female fronted band's like video. But the ones that truly break my heart are the people that come up to me and say it in person that you can tell don't really listen to rock music or Paramore much. They genuinely believe that what they are saying is true. It's just so confusing, but I think it's down to people not really understanding tone and delivery and different types of singing and chest voice and head voice and all that kind of stuff. I think it's just down to people that just don't know that much about singing and music itself. And to be fair with you, whenever someone says that to me, especially in person, I'm like, do you know what? I don't, and that's okay. But I will take that compliment because I know that you mean well. And Hayley is so attractive and she's got such a good voice that I would be honoured to even be compared to her. So that's pretty much all I've got. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys are creatives or musicians and you have got some things that are really frustrating that people keep saying to you, let me know, leave them in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.